Alright, today we are doing, I'm going to show you how to do this interesting looking rake stitch. Here's a good time to actually stop and screenshot this if you want to save this pattern to try later. And how you read this is you just follow that way down, follow that way back. You just follow, this is your anchor peg, and you just do exactly as it shows. I want to say it's called the loop stitch. How this turns out, it's interesting. It's kind of like, I just showed in a recent video, what was it? The double half stitch. It's a lot like your double half stitch, in the fact that there's these empty spots in between and these big thick chunks. This is a very interesting stitch. Okay, and how we do this stitch, let me turn this around. Right, we just follow this pattern. So we are at our anchor peg. We're going to go up in between. We're going to go past two, then up over these two, down around those two, then we're going to go back and we're picking these up. It's kind of like a really big figure eight. Now we're not going to go over this side and do it. We're actually going to skip. These squares are going to be separated. You see that? So we're not going to be going like that. We are going like this. So the squares are separated. This is your first pass. So when you get done, you're going to pull this over. And you got to watch your tension. Stitches like this, you can get your tension really tight and it can make it just miserable to do. So now we're going to follow this pattern back, which are coming from in between those. So we're just going to go over those two, up around those two. Oops. Down around the bottom two. So we are getting all of those. Wait, I did the bottom. Down around the bottom two. There we go. Sorry. So we're going to go over. See, this is a little different than your way up. See, we're going up over these top two. And then going around, and then we're going back. So some of these stitches, your pass up and your pass down, are exactly the same. But this one isn't. So this is how this one will look. I'll show you that compared to this. The pass up, you go over and then you kind of circle around. You go up over and then you circle around kind of like a figure eight. This one isn't quite like that. You go down, then you up. You're kind of going backwards. You're backtracking a bit when you do this one. So that's that. Now to finish your cast on, now you just go through and take all the bottom strings, loops, hoops, whatever you want to call them, pull them over the top. We're going to flip it to the opposite side. Do the same. And see, you're going to have some loops hanging up, and that's fine. Those will work they'll work their way in as you do it. You just get those bottoms over the top and make sure everything stays on the loom. Push them down. Still got a couple that wanted to come back. It looks a bit chaotic, but this is your cast on. From here, you just follow your pattern. You're left here, so this is where your last one was. From in between these two. So you would go up, over, or down, and back. Then you'd skip two, you go up, over, down, and back. See, you just start back up at your top, do the top pattern, but the string's coming from down here instead of right there. You do your back pattern. But you just do the top pattern. Oops. And take the bottom over the top and cast it off. And then you can do this bottom pattern. Or something else you can do if you want. Since your string's always going to be coming from in between two pegs, whichever end you're on, you can actually just do this bottom pattern the entire time. It won't really change the outcome of how this looks. But if that makes it easier to remember just to do this instead of doing one row like that, one row like that, you can just do every row after this cast on row like this second one. Because they are slightly different. Okay, hope this helps. Thank you for watching.